Boom. We are good to go.
Boom.
So yeah, really impressed with what I'm seeing. This is why I wanted to get you on, is because to find out your secrets. Yeah.
Oh man, I can't give away too much sauce.
No, I'm joking, bro. I'm joking.
No, but yeah,
No, not even.
everyone's got their own sauce. Everyone
No,
can make their own sauce. Trust
yeah,
me.
of course, man. No, we'll discuss like your progress and that later. But if we could just like
Perfect. Yeah.
start by, could you give us a little bit about your background, like how you got into trading in the
Yeah.
first
Sure.
place?
Yeah. So I started probably the worst time ever. So it was literally just before COVID. So I got into the market as everything was just going crazy, and you were just seeing these like wild conditions. And
Yeah,
to me, I was like, oh, I thought this is how the market normally is, but it's not like.
yeah, yeah. I
So I
remember.
probably got in at the worst time.
Yeah,
Yeah, and so I started with like just manual trading. I was doing a lot of well, started with stocks.
yeah,
But basically the weird thing is, so I was me and my missus were away with some friends, and my mate pulls out his phone and he gets trading 212 out, and he was like, oh, I'm investing in stocks, da, 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 da. And he's like, oh, if you just like open a demo account, you can sort of like give it a go, give it a try. So I did that, and I remember I was just buying stuff like Tesla, Amazon, all these like weird things on like a demo account, and then I seen I was up like I don't know like 500 quid or something. I was like, it just sort of clicked in my mind. It was like, oh my gosh, like wow, you can actually like if you do this, you can do this like profitably for a living. So I guess
yeah.
that was kind of like the spark. So that was in like 2019, I think, and
Uh-huh.
then sort of went into FX after that. Long story short, yeah, just went through blew through so many um, like your small accounts, like
Yeah,
not like huge accounts. Did a few like prop firms, FTMO even back then, sort of 2020.
yeah,
Just blew through so many accounts, and then the weird thing was I was kind of like hopping from strategy to strategy, and I think I typed in like banker strategy or something like that on YouTube, and the first thing that came up was Darren, and it
yeah,
was POW Banker EA, and I
yeah,
didn't even know what an EA was,
yeah,
um, and then I just came across that, and I was like, wait, so hang on, there's like a tool that you can just like sort of it's a rule based strategy, and you don't have to do anything. Well, you do have to do stuff.
yeah,
Sorry, I'm mistaken. But it's all rule based, so it's taken that sort of decision fatigue out of you. So I think I joined POW sort of 2021, which was it was like do you remember the Bailey's strategy or something
yeah.
like that? Gold Bailey's.
Yeah, that gold Bailey strategy when
Bailey's
it
strategy,
went off at the
man.
beginning, man. That was doing
Yeah,
well.
it was doing well, yeah, and sort of hedging and averaging. But I think the thing is back then was we've got so much more control now of how we can control the EA and the ways that like fit in line with sort of our own psychology. So I think if you're getting into power now, it's like you've literally got everything. Like if you just
Exactly.
genuinely just
Yeah,
listen to all if you go through everything on Darren's on the through the course and on the website, you just listen to Darren and you actually like go maximize all your your demo accounts in the live market and just get a feel for it. Like you just feel the ear and then sort of pick what you want to pick out of that, I think.
yeah.
Um
I mean,
but yeah, like I mean, yeah,
back then it was like in my opinion anyway, it was so much harder, man. It was so much harder than
yeah,
now. Even though there's like now when you look at the inputs, it's there's a lot to choose from, and it's if you're just starting, it might be a little bit overwhelming at first, like just looking at the actual inputs of the EA itself, because there's so much you can do.
yeah,
Like
yeah,
compared to what it was before, like before it was just it was so much more difficult to get results, consistent results.
yeah.
But like
I agree, yeah.
what would you say three things you struggled with were, before you actually found PAL, what was you struggling with?
Oh, that's a good question. Definitely just consistency in terms of like trying to stick to one one set way of trading, if that makes sense. So like I was kind of hopping from RSI trading to like EMA strategies to like trading sort of one, like, the market open, sort of US open. I was trading like US open, just trying to like catch the tops and, catch the reversals, or like trend trading. There was so many different things that I was doing. I couldn't really just stick to one thing because, for example, the market would trend one week, but then the next week, oh, there might be a reversal,
Yeah.
and then the next week, like, oh, it might range. So it was like, oh, I can't like choose one. So I think that was definitely one thing I was struggling with. And risk management was the second thing. Sort of sometimes you just go like, you don't know how to work out your lot sizes sometimes, and you're like, oh, what is 1%? Do I risk 2% on this? Am I trying to like
Yeah.
bring it back? So that was the second thing, and I think psychology was the third thing. So like, just having so many like decision fatigue. It's like such a real thing. I think that was probably the third thing that I was struggling with.
Yeah. A lot of this
Them
comes
are the top three things. Yeah,
a lot of it comes down to discipline as well, right?
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Relating back to at the start of my own journey, like I think number one thing I struggled with was discipline. Like, so when it comes to like risk management, for example, like I knew what risk management was, but I didn't have the discipline to stick to it. And it was like,
yeah, yeah,
you hear about the whole like stick to 1%, but when you're losing and you're thinking, oh, I could easily make this back if I just risk XYZ, and then
yeah.
before you know it, your whole account's been blown and you're back to square one. It's an absolute killer. So if you hadn't of like if you hadn't of found power, or if nothing had changed, like where do you think you'd currently
Mm.
be?
I don't think I think I would have given up. I genuinely think I would have.
Everyone,
Because just because it's sort of like, it's such a hard game. Like, it honestly, not many people make it trading,
yeah,
and it's just the money that you've spent on sort of challenges and blown accounts, you start stacking up, and you're like, oh, I could have gone on holiday, like I could
yeah,
have, that money could have like gone to a house renovation or something like. Do you know what I mean? So it's sort of like, where do we draw the line here?
yeah. You
Um,
start second
I,
guessing yourself, right?
you do, yeah, absolutely, yeah.
So you reckon you'd give up altogether?
I think so, yeah. I
Yeah.
think so.
Honestly, like out of
Mm,
all the interviews that I've done so far, I think 99% of people jumped on have said the same thing.
yeah.
One, because of what you just said, like it's too hard, but two, like the time restraints as well. Like if you've got a normal job, or you
Mm,
just going out for the day, etc., you're gonna miss all that time that you could spend like on a chart. Whereas what the banker
mm.
or other EAs allow you to do is trade and then go about your day and kind of
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
happen at the same time. So yeah, I'm in the same boat as you, man. So when you um when you joined PAL, what would you say you focused on the most? Was it Banker EA? Was it Edge? Did you start dabbling into Red Alert?
Yeah, so it's definitely banker. I did dip into Edge a little bit. Edge is great, but it's just like what you said with the chart time. I feel like with banker, you can set yourself like a 4 hour block any day of the week and just like, okay, I'm gonna back test here, got 4 hours, and you can just set yourself up for the next week, or whatever. If you're testing like long term, if you're doing sort of a year or more, then you've got more time to play with. But me personally, I'm doing short period tests. So what I do is every Friday, you've got it as well. I think we've got the same VPS. I just set up a back test across all of my diversified pairs.
Yeah,
Wake up in the morning, got everything there, and I just set myself sort of 4 hour period in the morning to just like get as many done as possible, and then I've got fresh data every single week.
yeah,
So that's how I do it. But if you're live trading, it's I've got to be on the charts at a certain time. I've got to get back for 2 o'clock for the market open, or my
yeah.
strategy. Or my strategy, like I'm getting alerts now on my phone. My strategy is like
So
teeing up, and
stressful.
it's like, yeah, you're stressed about it. And what if you've not got Wi-Fi?
Yeah,
Or if you're like in a restaurant or something, it's like, oh my God, you're like trying to like have a
mate.
meal out with your missus.
I used to be out with my
And these are
missus.
all things that happen.
I literally used to be out with my missus, and my missus would be like, put it down. And I'll be getting alerts, and I'll be like,
Yeah.
I can't miss this trade. Like, I need to place this trade. And she's like, you don't have to. And I'm like, I do. Like,
It's
push
so
it for
true,
one.
man.
And then the stress that it put on me was unbelievable, man.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, yeah.
would you say it
I
stressed you
agree.
out? Like, how did it affect you
Yeah.
personally?
You know what? I think yeah, it definitely had some sort of strain on just presence in terms of like being present in certain situations. I think because you're
Yeah,
always kind of you've got it in the back of your mind, like, okay, I need to set up, I need a trade to set up today. Like, oh, is my phone going to ping? You're sort of always just like waiting for that alert,
yeah,
which I guess some people can do, and yeah, like there is people who can do that, but my personality, I definitely work better when I've got like a chunk of time. I can just smash it all out, and then all right, I've done the work now. All I need to do now is turn on, and then that's it, and
yeah,
then just follow the strategy and just let it play out as it
yeah,
as it should do.
yeah.
Um,
Yeah, me and you both, man. So,
yeah,
since you've been, let's say, more, is it fair to say more consistent?
yeah. I'd say yeah. I'd say since I started doing what I'm doing right now, I've been consistent from November last year.
Yeah,
So yeah. I think I started finding consistent. Yeah, well, I'll go into it actually. I think the more when I got really consistent was when I sort of digested everything that Darren said in all of the videos that he's put on the in the course, and I
uh-huh.
was like, and I tested it in the live market, and I was like, oh, cool. And then what I did, the next step after that was, okay, what did I like about this data? Which parts did I like? Did I like trading it? Or oh, I like trading Asian. Or I like the London session. Oh, there's too much happening in New York. I don't really like that. Or I like waking up and seeing, oh yeah, I made a bit of profit overnight over the Asian session. I didn't have to touch it. I think like going to sleep for me as well and just not touching it
Yeah,
plays so much of a positive role. Because if I'm up and I'm seeing like positions in drawdown, I'm like, part of your mind's like, oh, should I close that out? Do you know what I mean? Whereas
yeah,
if you're asleep, so it
yeah.
might not work for some people, though. Some people might be like, oh my God, I can't sleep.
I
But for
hear you.
me, I think that,
I think what you're
yeah,
trying to say is like, well, just as a little observation is your personality is
yeah,
like you find there's too much temptation if it's
yeah, absolutely,
later in the
yeah,
day and you want to touch things and you want to interfere with things, and that's what kind of ruins your consistency,
yeah,
just from my own perspective anyway. So
yeah, I would
um,
agree.
yeah, so like recently when you've been more consistent, what sort of success have you been seeing?
So, well, just in the terms of the parameters, it's everything that what Darren says. You want to be aiming for between 1% and 4%, really, like 4% being the top end, 1% being the bottom. Anything sort of in between that, that's when. So in my mind, if I'm trying to make like say 3% in a month, if I've made 1% in a week, I'm turning off because I'm on shorter term data as well. So the if you're on longer term data, you might not see sort of 1% straight away. It might take like a few days, but when you're on short term data, you can see it like straight away on a Monday or a Tuesday. So as soon as I see that, I'm like, okay, like that's done. I'm off now. Like, and because I'm only trying to go for 1 to 3% a month. So I think
The whole
that's
week?
kind of what I'm seeing consistently. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Sorry, yeah, 1% in a week. Yeah, sorry, yeah. So then you can sort of get to that 3% a month.
So just for like people that are watching video purposes,
Yeah.
it's like, so this is what I've seen from you in the Discord channel as well, yeah. So it gets a Monday morning, and literally what I see is this guy banks fucking 1K, and then he's like, right, done for the week, see you Monday. And then you just switch off for the whole week, yeah. And I'm thinking, how
Yeah.
the hell is he doing this? So you make your 1K or whatever it is,
Mhm.
2K,
Yeah.
whatever 1% is for you, and then switch off, and then the next week you switch back on and you do it the same again.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. So because I'm on the short-term data,
That's
um, every Friday, just do the back test, and then sort of on a Saturday morning, Saturday night, schedule in sort of 4 hours before before the weekend starts, and I just get it all done. Then get it all ready. Sunday,
nice.
everything's already uploaded, and
Yeah,
it's just a case of going, and then yeah, just because I think what Darren said as well is, you can never be too diversified. I'm literally running like 80 different strategies. So the chances of like, so because I'm so diversified
Yeah.
and, I load the graphs up and, it's like, oh yeah, you're making like 30 grand in a month or whatever. I'm only trying to make a K from that. Do you know what I mean? I'm trying to take like such a small bite. So I
Yeah.
think because I'm producing a lot from the back test and a lot of strategies,
Ah, okay.
I think that kind of like
I
can
see
give you a
where.
bit of a clue of because I'm
Okay.
producing more, yeah, producing as many strategies as possible
So
within that diversified.
yeah, so what you're doing is getting a collection of strategies, as many as a large number of
That's right,
strategies,
yeah.
all diversified, and then you're
Mhm.
running them all. And then
Yeah,
because you're making 1K on the first day, for example, then you just switch
yeah.
off and then you,
Switching off, yeah.
mate,
Because
that's
I've
what
seen from
that's clever.
my data, yeah. Well, I
No,
think,
I'm
but it's just
serious. That's really clever,
ta-
man.
do you reckon? I mean, like time in the market as well, because I've experienced sort of manual trading. I used to scalp the FTSE on the Open. I used to scalp the Dow on the New York Open. So I think just with experience as well, you can sort of you just get a feel for it. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, I think that's another thing as well. Just being disciplined because it's so easy to look at that and go, oh my god, why am I not holding? Why don't I make like another 4%? And
Yeah,
I think that's where you can
that's
easily get into that trap of oh,
I
I'm
can
hitting
make.
EP now. Do you know what I mean? If you do make more, it's like oh, but because you're on short term data, statistically you are more likely to hit an EP. Because
Yeah,
I don't know what you found, but if you trade with short term data, what I find is when it sort of gets to like Thursday, Friday, think it's got that those set files are starting to get to their expiry date.
yeah.
So it's like sort of Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday is probably the best days.
Yeah.
Yeah, that from what
Okay.
I found anyway. I mean, yeah, from
When
what
you
I
say
found in my data.
when you say short-term data, like how many how far back you
So
testing?
so I'm doing between 8 and 12 weeks.
Okay, cool. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. That's crazy, man. So you've been doing that since November.
hmm Since November, yeah. Then started the Darwin account on in January. So that's kind of like my uh, track
Okay.
record, if you want to say so. And I'm just taking it slow as well. I think so. I'm up at the minute. Well, I've got it here. I was up 7.7% since January,
Yeah.
but I hit an EP yesterday, so I'm back down to 5.3.
Okay.
So,
And that's on Darwin.
like this is still up for the quarter, still up for the. Sorry,
Is that on Darwin, is it?
on Darwin, yeah, on Darwin, yeah.
Nice. Okay, that's beautiful, mate. Well done. So since you've been like more consistent and yeah, since you've been like more disciplined, more consistent, and you're seeing these sort of results, like let's ask that same question again, is like how would you say that's affected you personally now?
Good question, man. I think as a whole, it's not just trading, but it's everything else. Like, I've got one of those Whoop straps now. Like after this, I'm gonna go for a run, and I'm sort of I don't know if you heard of Whoop, the
Yeah,
Whoop
yeah,
strap.
yeah, yeah, of course.
So basically, it calculates how much strain you're putting on your body through exercise, how much sleep you got, how well you're recovering, and say if I didn't sleep well, then it's going to say, okay, take it easy today, like try and get your strain to
Yeah,
sort of like a lower level. But if you've recovered well, be like, okay, you can really send it today.
yeah,
So just having that and giving me the sort of the guidance of oh, okay, you can go for a really big run today, right? I'm gonna really try and like run
yeah,
like 10K today, and I'm gonna hit my optimal strain. That sort of disciplines me in a sense of okay, right, I've got a target to hit. I've got to like go for a run today, or do something. It could be like 20,000 steps, or go for a work, go to the gym, or something like that. I've
yeah,
always got something to try and achieve, and I think because of that, because I'm disciplined sort of in that area. Well, I try to be as disciplined as I can. It's not every day is a green day,
yeah,
but because I'm trying in that area, I feel like that really bleeds into trading as well. I feel like if you're disciplined in other areas of your life, it bleeds into your trading.
yeah,
Um,
100%.
which is yeah, it's like it's a whole. You know, I think trading's a true reflection of everything else that's going on in your life. You know, if you've got a lot going on, you're
Yeah.
then a lot more tempted to, you know, okay, I'm going to run that set file as well, and I'm gonna, you know, I hit an EP. Oh, I'm just gonna I'm gonna bulk copy that, and then I'm gonna up my lot size. These are all things that, you know, yeah, we've got the tool to do it, but I feel like the EA, it's like it's like driving a Ferrari sometimes. You know, you can go really fast if you want.
Yeah.
It gives you everything that, you know, it gives you all the power, everything, but at the same time you can crash it so hard. And
Yeah.
like if you crash it, then it's like, oh my God, you know, the
Yeah.
worst thing ever.
No, you're
Which
absolutely spot on, mate. Like literally, this is exactly what I'm going to talk about in the Q&A this week is
oh yeah,
basically how the rest of your life like is, you know, a direct reflection of your trading. Like
yeah,
when my life was like really stressful and, you know, a bit all over the place, I wasn't really in a routine, like everything
yeah.
go to, and it's like when your trading ain't going well, you're not really a nice person to be around. Like,
Yeah,
you
that's
know what I
true.
mean?
Yeah.
You're like pissed off all the time, you're stressed out, like you're frustrated at what's going on, and you're pushing that onto other people and the people that are around you all the time. And it's
Yeah,
not fair on them either. It's like, you know, it's not fair on my missus, it's not fair on my friends and my clients. And it's just like everything needs to be in that kind of balanced level playing field so that, you know, not only you benefit, your trading benefits, and all the people around you benefit as well. um that's kind of how I see it anyway.
absolutely. Yeah.
So would you, obviously you'd recommend POW, but why would you recommend POW?
Oh, good question. I'd recommend it. it if you're
Maybe
like me, anyway.
if you
Yeah,
give
go on. Three
three
things.
things, yeah, three things and why you would recommend POW.
Okay, well, first of all, Darren, just I feel like Darren gives so much to us, like in terms of like he really cares about the community and he really cares about everyone winning. So firstly, like you want to be led by someone like Darren, who's like who like do you know what I mean? He really who I don't know anyone else who's doing like bi-weekly Q&As and always in the Discord like every Friday, like what's everyone's can everyone drop your weekly wins in?
Yeah.
I just feel like, you know, we've got such and everybody else in it, like people like yourself as well. Just the team's so good, like everybody cares and they just want you to win. Um, so and then two, the tool, the Banker EA, it's so there's just so much you can do with it now. I feel like if you really educate yourself on how to use it, you can create your own strategy in a sense, and you can create your own way of it suits and is in line with your psychology, and that's just going to benefit you as well. Like you're going to be more relaxed. You
Yeah.
know, if you don't like trading Asian, then okay, well you can trade London then, or I want to like trading like an hour a day. You can set up. These are all things you can set up in the EA. And then I'd say thirdly, that's really going to help you stay disciplined. It's the strategies there. You can't, you know, unless you put the lot sizes up or whatever, there's nothing else that's going to happen. The strategy is going to play out the way that you've seen it in the back test. It's going to do everything that the back test did, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Whereas, you know, if you're a live trader, it's like, okay, oh well,
There's too
I don't
many.
know, like, oh, there's too many different things to think of.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
There's
guess,
too much
yeah.
going on, right? There's too many
Too much
variables.
noise. That's it. Yeah, there's too
Yeah.
much noise.
Unless you're like
Yeah,
part of this is why there's such a low percentage of, you know, successful traders, is like unless you're one of them people that you see on fucking social media and YouTube, like it's really hard to be a manual trader, especially if you've
yeah,
got a life outside of that. So yeah, you hit the
yeah.
nail on the head there. Really good advice, and yeah, really good interview, man. Really enjoyed that. That was great.
Oh, so yeah.
So I'm just going to click to stop record,
Oh
and
yeah, sure, man.
let me just